What's up, everyone? This is episode
76
of The Sit Down. Welcome.
to the show.
We're going to do this back and forth.
Yeah. Finish each other. See, we finish each other's sentences.
Sandwiches.
No, good to see you guys here again back this week. What a heck of a summer, man. It's been awesome.
Yeah, things are happening.
Things are happening. That's what this episode could be called.
Yeah, we should. Yeah. So today we had Prehistoric Productions as our guest. They are a video production company that is focusing on music videos. So if you check out their YouTube channel, you'll see a lot of awesome production in their music videos.
Yeah, they're the guys that recorded us at Skull Creek 2 weeks ago there on that episode. Episode 75.
Yeah.
It's those guys.
I do have to mention, so in this episode, we had no issues with internet.
Aha.
And you know why? Because I got a new internet provider.
Mark's
Shout
pretty fired up about it.
Shout out to iNet 2000. It's a bit of a dated name, but iNet 2000 is an internet provider from Prince Albert. They hooked us up with a sweet internet connection for tonight, and
What was your speeds?
I didn't look, but it was
Before you checked like 3 times before we started
before.
recording.
Yeah, it was something like 75 down and 15 up.
Right. Very good. Better than the
Previous one
4
where I got
down and 1 up.
Yeah. So that's exciting. Thanks for the hookup.
So we got some good internet, so there's no glitches there.
This episode is still sponsored by M3 is 3D.
You know what we should do with this thing? So what is it, like week 3 or 4 now we've been promoting this thing. We still don't have, why is there no headphones on this
Because
thing?
I'm wearing them.
Yeah, but you got like another set kicking around here, don't you?
I do.
There should be some headphones on those guys.
Okay, for next episode, Elon will have headphones.
He'd better. But yes, you guys go to M3 is 3D. Use the promo code Moose at your checkout for, is it 10% off?
Correct.
There you go. And are we out of pre-sale for the records?
Oh, right. So if we're not in pre-sale, they are for sale.
Right.
FunkyMooseRecords.ca, there's a big banner. Northern Royals, their first EP, well, not their first EP, their EP on vinyl is available for $29.95.
That's right. Sweet record. We still got that test pressing sitting right there.
Yeah.
The first test pressing
Is at your place.
that got played is definitely at my house.
Yep.
I'm going to get that. Evan. Shout out to Evan at Northern Royals. I want that shit autographed, dude. Hook me up.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring it to you. I'm going to drive this is how bad I want my test pressing autographed, Evan. I'm coming to you, bud. I'm driving all the way to you to get it autographed.
Just that one.
Yep. I just want that one. And I'll film you doing it. How's that sound?
He will. Anyway, back to Prehistoric Productions.
That's right.
This was a very eventful episode. We got to know each other a lot better than we did before this episode.
Right.
So
We've kind of been working with them a little bit. Like I mentioned, they did the Skull Creek episode.
Yeah.
But they were at Moose Fest.
At that time, we didn't get to talk to them too much because
it was all business.
Yeah.
Right.
But now we were just hanging out and got to know them. It was sweet.
Yeah. Well, I got to hang out with them at 7 Mile Sun at the Capitol a few weeks back. That was a fun night, man. You totally missed out.
Yeah,
You're such an old man.
There it is.
Oh, that's another new thing this episode. So, he went out of line there shooting me, but because we all know I've got a bad habit of dead air and going all the time, the idea with the guns is anytime somebody makes those noises or trying to fill in a sentence or whatever, you know what I'm getting at, when they go or right, so, any of that stuff, then we're going to shoot each other with these Nerf guns, just try and snap out of that.
So it's up to you to count how many minus this one I shot at him.
Yeah, that one wasn't fair. Anyways, guys, these guys are kick-ass. Brad had to ditch out, so he's for the first third, or he's for the first part of the episode. But
Peace out, Peterson.
yeah. Very good. Enjoy the show, you guys.
Alrighty, well, I'm Francois Donation, the creative director at Prehistoric Productions.
I'm Andrew Sorsdahl. I'm the CEO and founder of Prehistoric Productions.
And my name's Brad Peterson. I'm the Chief Operations Officer of Prehistoric Productions.
And this is episode 77 of the Sit Down Podcast.
Hey, I'm Mark.
I'm Joel.
These episodes of the Sit Down Podcast are brought to you by Funky Moose Records.
Subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment below, and ring the bell because it really helps us out, you guys.
And check out funkymooserecords.ca for all your used and new records, and accessories.
And merch. Perfect.
Woo!
Right on.
Like you've done this before.
And we did it in the order we always do it, which was
Really
Very
weird.
How
become
long?
routine.
How long have you guys been doing this for?
Since the beginning, basically, our podcast is not like the thing that we used to do that we call the podcast it wasn't something that we took overly seriously. It was the way the thing that I heard somebody say one time that I thought was kind of brilliant. Kevin Smith, because he has his whole like podcast network or whatever. But I remember I listened to one of the podcasts he did, and he said, I wish that my dad had made podcasts, because his dad had passed away like around that time. And he said that I wish that my dad had done podcasts so that I could listen to that and like hear him talk and like hear his opinions on things. And like me listening to that, I was like, well, it doesn't really matter if the podcast is high quality necessarily, but it's like, it's kind of cool to just have yourself at a stage of life talking about whatever it is.
Right.
Because that like you never know like in 20 years if that's just going to be this really valuable thing that like your family or you are going to look back on and be like, oh, what a fucking idiot I was, or like whatever. But I always kind of thought that was really cool. And then we did it for years. We did it, but it was just like super low budget and super low rent. And then we kind of got to a stage where we were like, all right, like if we're gonna pick this, so we stopped, and then we were like, if we're gonna pick this up again, we should do it more professionally and get some better gear and stuff. Just because we kind of want to do kind of what you guys are doing. Like we'd like to eventually have guests on a podcast and whatever. So essentially the only thing we do right now in that format is every year we do the 12 podcasts of Christmas, which is just kind of an excuse for us to get drunk and talk about whatever. And yeah, like, so every year we do those, but hopefully we'll bring the podcast back in some format where we can have some guests and a better setup. But you can see like we've already been like, this whole setup that we have right now and these mics, like that's all kind of for that purpose eventually.
Right.
So we're getting set up and testing and stuff. So yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think our biggest difficulty was because all of the equipment we used to podcast was paramount to all the other business we were doing. It was just another experience of having to tear everything down and pack it up and organize it. So if, we'd like to get to that point where we just have that equipment in studio and that's its primary purpose. But trying to do that whole back and forth makes it difficult. Having the more permanent setup now with the mics and stuff definitely helps, because audio is always one of our biggest shortfalls. Just because we come from a video background, I think that's kind of what we were prioritizing to begin with. But I mean, our 12 podcasts of Christmas has come a tremendous way. Like now we have a much higher quality than even our early episodes. But I like to look back on the early episodes and revel in how, it was low budget, but we got a good idea of what our opinions were at the time. And we're the three of us, we got into all the political banter of the day and, current events and stuff like that. Kind of interesting to look back on that period and those periods.
Right.
It's funny.
Where are those, on YouTube?
Technically, yes, but I think we have them all like private or like unlisted or privated. I think the 12 podcasts of Christmas are all mostly available, but I think like we said, we wanted to come back at a higher quality. So I think it exists, like it's not gone. They're all there. And I think that what we'll do maybe, because like there's a lot of stuff in there that like we're literally talking about nothing. And so I think that maybe the way we'll bring it back if we do some of those older episodes is like I'd love to go through and watch some of them, and like if I find an episode that I'm like, oh, this was really funny and this is like something relevant or
do like
whatever.
a clip show kind of
Yeah, like that kind of a thing, and make, or maybe make even just specific episodes available so that people can see, because like one in every 20 probably is like a nice little snapshot as to what we were doing at the time, but I don't think people want to go back and like watch all the shit. Like it's,
we did like 100 episodes.
Funny thing is that the lack of volume of projects allowed us to do more podcasts.
yeah.
But now that we're doing more frequent and interesting stuff, we don't have the time to podcast.
Yeah.
So it's kind of an interesting juxtaposition between those two.
You guys are fucking crushing it right now, aren't you? Like, holy shit, man. How many videos in a week are you guys recording? All right now.
We're doing about average since March or April, doing about like a music video or some type of video a week, basically.
Nice.
Almost every weekend we've been filming a music video since April.
Yeah,
So-
and like we probably shot more music videos in the last. It would definitely bring our average up. Our annual average will already be beaten by this week. So
Yeah.
Cool. So what are the acts that you've worked with so far?
Like from the beginning or this year?
Sure.
Like from the beginning. Oh
Yeah.
man. Okay. So
wait. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
okay. So, and I guess we'll just keep this to music videos to keep it contained to a degree. So the first band we ever worked with was League of Wolves, who at the time,
It was the Shoeless Joes, actually.
They were the
Back when
Shoeless
they were the
Joes.
Shoeless Joes.
and it wasn't, so we had shot their first music video and they were still the Shoeless Joes, and it wasn't until like the end of editing their music video that they changed their name to League of Wolves, and then that became a thing. So the music video was released as a League of Wolves music video, but like
but it was,
It was
shot.
shot. Yeah.
yeah, for like a year, because I'm trying to remember how long it took us to get that one out, because we shot it.
Year and a half. It was not quite 2 years. Yeah. It was
Was
a
it
year.
2 years to get it out? Wow.
It was
I
a
think
year
it
and a
came
bit.
out in 14 and we filmed it in 13. No, it was a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It was like we filmed it in summer of 13 and it didn't release until like the fall of 14, I think.
Yeah, so like the first few music videos we did were all League of Wolves ones. They were like they were friends of ours, so they kind of gave us a chance, gave us our first shot. And I think we did 4 for them, 3 right away for them. We did one for their song "Runaway," "Straight Shot," and "You Got Me." Is that the one? Was that
Yeah,
the...
You got me, yeah.
Yeah, "You Got Me." So we did those 3.
And then they actually were able to get a Creative Sask grant, and we got our first like major budget shoot with them as well, for Hightail, their song Hightail.
Yeah, and that was
And,
after Liat joined the band.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that was, well, he hadn't joined the band. It was like
Oh, it
featuring
was
Liat Hansen.
featuring Liat Hansen, right?
Yeah, so he was in talks and hadn't actually joined yet.
Right.
Thankfully, at the stage they were at and the stage that we were at, they needed content badly and they didn't have a budget, and we needed somebody who didn't suck to be able to film. And I think that the 3 of us have always talked about how we're very fortunate that we didn't have to resort to filling our portfolio with crap early on.
Yeah.
We were very fortunate that we had well-produced, well-written music to start to cut our teeth with.
It's
And
true.
I think
Like,
that's been hugely important in our trajectory.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, because I think about some of the guys I went to film school with, and some of them tried to do kind of the independent route as well. And I remember that one of the companies that would have been at this, like a similar size and stage as we would have been at that time, but their first project was a 2-year-old's birthday party. That was the thing that they filmed. Like, that was the thing that they were going to fill their portfolio out with at the beginning. And it was like, I'm really glad that we get to work with like a cool band and like do music videos, and we don't have to like film a 2-year-old's birthday party, because that's too bad. And they were talented guys. Like, they filmed the shit out of that birthday, but like, it's just like, how many people are interested in that?
Oh, that's hilarious.
Put that on your resume. I filmed the shit out of that 2-year-old.
So like, yeah, we started with League of Wolves, and then we it's been a lot of word of mouth stuff. We've worked with Eliza Doyle, who filled in as a banjo player for the Dead South. Justin LeBrash, a great country music artist that we've worked with for a long time. We went crayons to perfume with Justin. He started out as a pudgy faced 16-year-old boy on a stage, and now he's a full grown man and he does amazing content. And so it's really great that we built that relationship with him over a long time. And we're working with his girlfriend now, Carissa. Some of the other bands we've worked with,
Well, I mean,
Mini Vandal.
we went through that phase of like really trying to get the whole like we're gonna film live music at the Cap thing, and so we worked with like early on like we filmed some live videos for the Steadies and like Cow Puncher and Go for the Eyes, both bands that don't exist anymore, but were like awesome little touring bands. And for a while, our thing was like we know the people at the Capitol, so we're gonna go there and film and try to sell this like these live videos to these bands. And that just like it was great to cut our teeth on, but didn't really net us anything other than contacts.
Yeah, like we went out, we bought 5 GoPros, so we had a bunch of angles, and we thought, man, this is it. We're gonna have these bands come in and pay us $200 every time. Obviously, we had to evolve beyond that pretty rapidly, but we learned a tremendous amount working with those groups, and bands talk, which is awesome because I think. Oh, sorry. Drive by. I think musicians. What I like about musicianship and artists like that is in almost any other business industry, you don't really chat with your competitors in the same way that you do in music. They're not really competition, but that word of mouth spreads really quickly because up and coming bands don't have, they don't have procurement. They don't have somebody to procure, work for them. And I'm sure you guys have worked with the same thing. You work with a band, they like the product, you move on to the next band, things get bigger and better. And as you flush out your portfolio, you get that testimonial. And it's not, recorded stuff on our website. It's people at a club being like, oh, I saw your music video for that song. Who shot that music video? Well, it's Prehistoric Productions. They make the best and the most music videos in Western Canada. So
Hell yeah.
Western Canada is a bit of a stretch, but we'll say Saskatchewan for sure.
Yeah. So anyways, so Justin LaBrash, and then we did some kind of one-off. Like most of our clients, the last like 3 or 4 years have been like repeat clients. We've done at least 2 videos for them. But at that time, so we started really going at it in 2014. So like 3-4 years in, we did a couple one-off music videos. We did one for a band called the Speed Hammers. They were kind of a cool punk band. I'm not sure if they're still active at all. I haven't seen anything, but we did, well, I guess Mini Vandal came back for 2, but we did one for Mini Vandal. They're a ska band in the city. We shot a video. What did you say? Sorry?
Is Mini Vandal still active?
I think so.
I think they are. Yeah, they're all engineers, so they all have like full time.
I don't know if they're all engineers. A few of them are definitely engineers.
No. There's like it's like 3 out of the 5 of them are engineers, and like 2 of them are teachers or something.
No, that's all of them.
So, well, a majority of them.
Yeah.
And then around that same. Oh, sorry.
They were playing that Chesterfest after show or whatever.
Yeah, they played that they played like the after party.
I've seen them live there, and
Like with Bombargo?
no, without Bombargo. They were just at Chesterfest.
With those we do not speak.
Yeah, we don't. Anyway, so
we're not Bombargo or the people who worked with Bombargo or anything like that.
Oh man.
So yeah, it was an interesting, different kind of genre in that show. Well, I enjoyed it. Anyway,
cool.
Keep going.
So then there was another music video we filmed. I won't mention the band, but that one never was released. That was another ska video. That one just.
You can mention the band. I can like bleep it out. Give her.
Oh no! It's not necessary. It was just.
Bombargo.
No, it was a ska band. We have never worked. We have never worked with Bombargo. Nor have we. I don't even think I've maybe been in the same room, but never worked with Bombargo. But yeah, it was a ska band, and it was just kind of like the concept that they had in their head was not achievable in Saskatchewan, basically. So that one just kind of, we filmed it, we edited it, it didn't get released, and then they ended up getting another video made, and all the power to them. It's totally fine. But that's the only only music video I think we've done that didn't get released and won't ever get released. So then trying to think after that, we did a couple more videos for Justin LaBrash. He's kind of our most prolific client at this point. Like every project he's had, and he's very consistent. Like he does at least a video a year. So we've been working with him for probably the last 6-7 years and done tons of videos for him.
Like 10 videos probably.
Yeah,
we kind of moved into working with the Pistol Whips in Saskatoon.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard of those guys. Yep.
Yeah. So we worked with the Pistol Whips, and then their lead guitarist Paul Kuzbik left the band, and we started working with Paul independently from the Pistol Whips. Kind of a funny story, and again, I won't name any names, but we had what at the time when we were quite fresh, we viewed as our direct competitors. These people were working with the Pistol Whips, working with them. They did a video for the Pistol Whips. And at the time, we had seen, the Pistol Whips and League of Wolves were very much at a similar level, and they were doing similar shows and stuff. So the Pistol Whips had hired them, League of Wolves had hired us. So we kind of created a Michael Jordan non-existent rivalry in our own minds between ourselves and League of Wolves and Pistol Whips and this other production company. That production company no longer exists. Fuck yeah. And we now work with the Pistol Whips. So
Hell yeah.
It was to the point where certain people within the company, I shall not point anyone out, went to the point of making several Pirates of the Caribbean themed memes about the situation that we still reference and laugh to.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I think at around this same time, we started working with a guy from Pincher Creek named his band name's The Rancher's Son, and he was just like phenomenal. We kind of just hit it off with him right away, and we did it. I recommend everybody watch this video because to this day, it's an older video now, but it's like one of my favorite ones. Yeah. It's for his song "Cease." So Rancher's Son "Cease." Check that out on YouTube. And yeah, hit it off with him. We just loved that video, and we just loved the way it turned out. And then I think we did two more videos with him.
2 more, yeah.
Yeah, I think we did 2 more music videos with him.
And then from Alex, we kind of moved into doing stuff with Will Ardell.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the Will Ardell. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I saw that one that came out. It was it a month ago?
In May or something,
maybe.
Right?
A month or 2 ago now.
Yeah. Recently.
Freaking rights.
That rocked.
Well,
thanks, guys.
Rock, but that was a great video.
Thanks,
and
guys.
It's funny, we cut our teeth in rock, then we moved a lot to country. Will Ardell eventually led to JJ Voss. That's when we started picking up nominations for Saskatchewan Country Music Video of the Year, which I think we have 6 total now. And then in 2020, we shot a video for JJ Voss, which was co-directed by Joel Stewart, who is an executive at CMT, and he did all of Core Blund's music videos. So we co-directed that with him. That was an amazing experience. And for JJ Voss's song "Some People," we won Saskatchewan Country Music Video of the Year. So that was a huge honor.
Yeah, that was breaking our award cherry, which was really nice.
Brian, go grab the trophy.
I'm gonna go grab the trophy. I'll be right back.
Do it.
Ignore my sweatpants.
We didn't get the trophy for, I don't know, 2.5 years. Obviously, the pandemic happened.
Oh, really?
This is one of my favorite things that's ever happened in our career. Honestly, Fran will show up the trophy, but so both this year that we won and this most recent awards, we were competing against ourselves. We were nominated twice, and the someone made a typo when they entered the award in for working with JJ, and so they spelled it Prehistoric Productions, and so that's our award. It says Prehistoric Productions hyphenated.
It's hyphenated.
But in the second award nomination, it was spelled properly, but they never rectified it or contacted us to fix the award properly. So in the last 2 years, we've had 4 out of 10 nominations. Yeah, we've had 40% of the nominations.
Holy shit, man.
So when
that's because you kicked out the competitors, like
exactly.
Whips there. Right?
So when you do up the description for this video,
Put a hyphen in it?
Yeah.
Yes, but hyphen historic.
I just love how they had to go out of their way to misspell the word to fuck up. Like, it's not like we have a misspelling as our creative production company name. We spelled it properly.
with very brief Googling, you can get that name figured out in a hurry. Properly spelled.
Unless your name's Nadav, maybe.
Yeah, I would challenge you to consume a 2.6 of hard alcohol, wait an hour, and then go searching on the internet and try and find it misspelled.
Actually, you know what I just fucking thought of? I think the way they do these trophies when they engrave them is you pay per letter. So they fucking paid extra for that little hyphen.
Yeah.
And also because it's a symbol too, right? Not just an extra letter, but a symbol would be
as soon as I picked the award up, I noticed that the misspelling had happened. So I Googled the company because it has the company's name on the bottom of the award. And we'll just get another one remade. No, they don't exist anymore. The company's gone defunct. So
Oh, you guys are
we
just
now have
taking
this
everybody
award.
out, hey?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Fuck up our trophy.
Watch out,
we
Funky
fuck you
Moose.
up, you're out of here.
Yeah, fuck, no doubt. Yeah, we just got to work with you guys too. We got to be careful here.
Yeah.
Lots of
Which-
intimidation.
Which actually turned out amazing, you guys. I cannot thank you guys enough for how fucking awesome that episode at
That
Skull
was-
Creek turned out, you guys.
I'm very, very glad.
Yeah, I wasn't when we were filming it. I like looked over at Brad and Fran, and I'm like, we kind of looked at each other as like we're like, is this in our eyes? We're like telepathically communicating. It's like, is this gonna work out? Is this gonna be something that's worth putting out there? And like, I don't know. But then like you said, it really came together in editing and seeing those like the progression of the song was really cool. And you guys did such a good job of like setting everything up and kind of
Dude, we
closing
didn't
it
do shit.
down.
No,
we didn't do what we did in that episode is all we did. You guys did everything.
Yeah, we were there to talk, and that's it.
And then we're not even good at that.
But, no, but you like the thing is, you could have sucked at talking, and it could have fucked everything up. But you didn't suck, and it was good. So
The feedback, I've really enjoyed the feedback.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people have been saying like this is a really cool way to consume this type of content, like getting to see behind the scenes. Like even like I think a lot of like we're all kind of involved with music quite frequently, so maybe we just don't like appreciate plugging an XLR cord or whatever, tuning a guitar. It's not like we're just so used to it. But it's like for people who don't do that stuff every day, yeah, I'd imagine it is cool to see them like checking out all their instruments, plugging everything in, like just getting to see how complicated that stuff is, and just like
Right.
that peek behind the
Well,
curtain.
and the fact that they didn't really have anything going in, like that was all, like the song at the end, that's the day of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To me, that was like the most amazing part of it. Like where the frick, the way I think about it is that maybe we were that inspiration for them to create that. Like not just like me and Mark. I mean, like you guys as well. Everybody who was in that room that day, I feel like, you know what I'm saying?
Helped with the vibe. Kind of
yeah.
thing. Yep.
Yeah, I think, speaking of that, Leon Hansen can attribute most of his career to being directly inspired by me. So every Juno and Gold record, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
almost directly involved in
I
everything.
think
Even before he knew who I was.
I
he
think you're, I think
thanked
you're
you.
right.
He thanked you in his thank you speech too, didn't he? For the Junos.
Yeah,
or
it's
whatever? Yeah.
the one he did in his backyard by himself.
The
Yeah.
broadcast kind of did like a weird thing at that point, so like you might not be able to find it in the actual broadcast, but ask anybody who went to the actual event, they will all agree.
Well, actually,
for
no.
sure. I was
Actually,
there.
if you listen, if you go back to episode 75, and go to the end of the episode. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna listen to the song at the end of this episode. You guys, we'll play it. But if you listen closely, you can actually hear when we dubbed it in, where Liat was actually talking to Brad and showing him all the respect. Like none of it would have happened without Brad.
That's right.
And it's actually, if you listen closely, you can hear it in the background.
Yeah.
Really
'Cause
quiet.
we dubbed that in there, so you got to listen very closely. But it is there, so check
See,
that
like
out.
we're being facetious right now, but like Brad's ego is inflating. Like this is like
Any-
peak
Anyway,
narcissism.
Just to cut you off, Andrew. One thing I do want to say that I really appreciated about the commentary, and which is a good frame of reference, I think, for you guys and the commentary we got on that podcast. So I've seen lots of great remarks. That was awesome. Great way to experience this. When we once got a comment on our podcast, I think we've only ever had one. It was a really respectful gentleman. I want to put that out, before I say what he said. Super nice guy. He just commented and he had said, you all seem like really nice guys. Please don't ever do this again.
Oh, jeez.
And so we printed that off and cut it out, and then we put it in our office. So
That is hilarious.
yeah,
Dude,
and then we
I
went
we
on
didn't
to
want a
shoot
podcast and be
episodes.
good. We went in to be nice guys.
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
That-
That's how you make the money.
I gotta stay away from those comments, man. I take that shit so personally.
It's one of those things where it's like
FGTRTD.
it's like if you it's an old adage that it's like kindergarten speak, like if you have nothing nice to say, like don't say it. Like it's just like, why are you compelled to say this thing that like no one gives a shit about? Like it's only going to make somebody feel bad about themselves. no one is going to thank you for this public service you're trying. Like, I don't know what you think in your head that you're providing people with.
That's
but
exactly
it's like,
what I told Joel about that comment. The
eh,
guy saying skip 5 minutes ahead. I'm like, what are people going to do? Scroll down to the comments and see, oh my God, that comment, it saved me five minutes of this whole
Yeah.
show. So I'm going to skip forward. No,
Right.
it's just like, I don't know what in their head, like whatever, like self-righteous, like messianic figure they see themselves as like I am the savior of the internet and those who inhabit it. But like, it's one of those things. Everybody just kind of needs to shut the fuck up 50% of the time. And it's like, if we all just shut the fuck up 50% of the time more, God, we'd all be so much happier. Oh, we'd be so much happier as a species.
It's a lot tougher to fill that messianic role when the entirety of your family is cut up into little
like bite-sized pieces.
That really makes spending time on the computer trivial when your entire family is cubed.
When you're trying to like stay alive as small cubes.
Yeah, it's really difficult.
Oh.
I can't speak to it personally, but I have a friend, so.
Well, Brad, you had a brief stint as a teenager as a troll. What did you get out of trolling that one guy?
Oh, here we go.
No, I don't like. It wasn't a dark place living in a private school. So
I was there. I was there egging you on and laughing about it. So like, I'm fully culpable in that as well. But
yeah, I like to, sometimes, you have two ways to deal with it. You give people the benefit of the doubt, or you cut the family up. And at that time, I was more into cutting people up. So I can't say whether or not my troll days were any more effective than these people. But I like to think that.
I mean, like we both were very like much like just trying to be ridiculous. So it wasn't the same level of like causing someone harm, obviously.
Yeah, I was more like the kid on Facebook or the kid on Xbox Live who's like, well, your mom sucked me off, like
right.
Not like a 7-year-old woman being like, I have tons of life experience and this is bad. Fuck you.
I'd like to clarify quick that all the talk of cutting people up into small cubes and the disappearance of all our direct competitors, like seemingly over the years, these two things are unrelated. There are no, like, don't look for these people. Don't look for these people.
And these are not the views held by Prehistoric Productions.
These are not the views held by Prehistoric Productions. But yes, I'd just like to clarify that cutting people up into itty tiny little bits and the disappearance of our friends and our competitors, now that I think about it, these two things have nothing to do with each other, I can assure you.
Dude, isn't that an awesome concept for a music video?
Cutting people up into tiny bits?
You're cutting up the competitors in tiny little bits and disposing of the bodies.
If we could find a metal band, I think that would be.
Cannibal Corpse wants to do something for sure.
Yeah. Freaking rights, man. I like it.
That's one genre that we just haven't had the opportunity to work in yet. That I would love to do a fucking badass, like super dark metal video, and we just haven't had that opportunity yet.
Where people get cut up in tiny little pieces.
And yeah,
sure. I mean I'm whatever works, man.
I don't know if I told you, Mark, but I was talking to these guys at the concert. I brought up the idea of maybe doing a music video for the song that was recorded at Skull Creek.
You mentioned that to me.
Yeah, you mentioned it between two sentences.
Between three other things I had going on in my head at the time.
Yep.
What do you guys think of that? Has there been any more thought with that, or is it just kind of like?
We'd have to talk to the League of Wolves boys a little bit more about it, I think. But I mean, I think if we can do something like pretty reasonable in terms of scale, I think we could. It'd be interesting to like maybe do. So we did the making of the song.
Right.
What if we did a podcast that was all about the making of the video and kind of show people some like an extended behind the scenes take on making of that video, and we could kind of come up with a concept that lends itself to having you guys there podcasting or covering, the behind the scenes.
Something there. Why don't the people watching listen to the song at the end of this episode and put in the comments if you think we should make a music video of that. I say that and nobody ever. There's like every now and again, there's like one guy who'll comment and be like, yeah, let's do that or whatever.
As
Right?
long as they're not saying, "Don't ever do this again," you are one up.
There you go, you guys.
Hey,
You're like nice guys.
Here's a
Don't
reference to our previous podcast that's not going to make a lick of sense to you guys, but even better than commenting on below, could you please live tweet right now? And if you live tweet us, would you like to see us make a music video? And if you tweet in the next 5 minutes, and if we can get over 600 live tweets now in the next 5 minutes, we will make a music video. So that's right now. I'm going to have my phone out currently, and we're going to be checking that out.
You goddamn.
I got it. So I need you to elaborate a little bit more on this story.
I'll allow Andrew to elaborate.
Oh,
son of a bitch.
Andrew is fuming right now.
Okay, one second, boys. I gotta leave you because I gotta go help my buddy start a gas compressor station.
He can wait. He can wait.
No, it can't wait. It just got cool enough and we gotta restart it.
Just set up the camera and we'll watch you in the background as you do it.
Bring us.
There's no cell service out there.
I gotcha.
Okay.
Are you coming back?
I probably not because it's gonna take us like 40 minutes, I imagine.
Oh, but, my dude, we're still gonna be here talking.
Okay, well I'll text.
I got nothing to do tonight.
Okay, well I'll text the boys when I get done.
We'll cut. We're gonna end up cutting this so that we got 2 episodes out of this.
Okay,
anyway, if I don't come back, it was awesome. Thank you so much for having me on.
Dude, man,
we're gonna be waiting for you now. Like we're gonna be waiting until you come back. Like we won't wrap up until you come back.
Unless you blew up.
Unless you die.
Yeah, here's to me, Black Megantique.
Right, Brad. If you don't come back, man, I appreciate you, buddy, and
thanks, man.
thank you so much.
We'll do this again
for all the work. You bet, bud.
Okay,
but we'll see you in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna make me talk about this now.
Yes.
It's been a while since we've done a call out to this, so this is kind of a nice refresher for us.
Okay, so and yeah, go ahead, Andrew. But there is another story. You're gonna be talking for a while because I got another story I want you to tell too. But go ahead.
Okay, so I'll keep this pretty brief. Basically, we were early episodes. There's an episode of that we were filming. I think we're filming it in a car, and I was pretty baked, and they contend that I said live tweet us in a thing that we were obviously not streaming live anywhere. So that's a really stupid thing to say. And I said, I contend that I didn't say live tweet. I said like tweet at us, as in like when you see this after it's been recorded and released, go to our Twitter page because we're trying to get traction there early on. And it was just this long-standing debate where they're certain I said live tweet. I'm certain I didn't. We can't find the footage to corroborate one way or the other. So it's somewhere maybe, but we haven't been able to find it. So it's this long-standing, like, I don't know, feud, debate.
So wait. Well, what the hell happened to the footage? If you were recording an episode.
So one of the things that happens when you record podcasts on the fucking fly and with not great equipment like we do is you lose a lot of things. You forget to press record on the audio recorder. You like shit like that happens. So there are probably 20 episodes of that podcast that just never aired or we weren't able to use because audio was lost or video was lost or whatever other reason.
Terrible things were said that no one should ever hear.
True. Terrible things were said. So I'm not saying that is what happened to that.
Cutting people up into little pieces and disposing of the bodies.
Well, that's tame. That's like surface level.
That's how we start the conversation, and it kind of goes on from there. But yeah, I'm not saying that is what happened to the tweet thing. It might be out there. It's just like each episode was at least an hour long, and there's like 100 of them, so they're just like tough to like sit there for like listening for like a 5-second clip or whatever. And I've never went through and tried to get through all of them again. So it might be there and it might exist, but like one day I'll get brave enough and look at them all. But
upload all of them to YouTube, let them transcribe, and then you can Google it.
True. I haven't even thought about that.
And for a while that we had like, I can't remember what we had riding on it now, but there was like terrible consequences for the person who was wrong. Like I think it was like we had to like take an ice cold shower every day for a month or something was one, and like I don't even remember, but it was like some weird bet that we came up with So we'll have to like go back and find that footage where we talk about that.
The transcription thing, though, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I never
Well,
even thought about that.
Do they have to be listed to be able to get the transcripts, or can you like put them on there as
There's-
unlisted?
There's
and
free
then-
transcription software you can, or like websites that you can just upload an audio file and it'll transcribe it for you.
Yeah.
Even if it's not through YouTube, like there's stuff specifically meant for that. So
Like Descript, what I showed you the other day.
Yeah, Mark showed me this thing, but it costs like $25 a month,
Yeah.
and it
Mm.
and it that's exactly what it does, right? It'll
yeah,
like turn it into transcript so that I can find all the times where I'm going or right so, and then cut that shit out. That doesn't count
Okay.
because I'm using it as a reference.
Okay.
We've got these fucking. Did I tell you why we got these Nerf guns?
no, I was
No,
gonna
I didn't even
ask
see that.
actually.
Yeah, so because I'm always going and looking for shit to say all the time, we decided that when we say it, we're gonna fucking shoot each other and try and kick that habit and get rid of
I-
that.
But
think
so
that's a
far,
great
he hasn't
idea.
said it yet.
But I haven't said it yet because I don't want to get pegged in the side of the head with a Nerf gun.
Yeah.
Maybe we should get a sponsorship from Nerf, like fucking Dude Perfect,
Yeah.
something like that. Who knows?
Nerf, hit us up.
No,
You don't. As if we know anything from your mom's house, you don't want to get a McDonald's sponsorship because they're just way too picky. Way too picky.
that was hilarious, right? What was it? Like, was it 2 point something or 1.2 million or 2.2 million or some shit?
I can't remember what they said, but yeah.
That's fucking hilarious, though.
What I see, like I've seen conflicting things. There's no way that was a bit, right? They
I
fucked
don't
up
think
on
so,
the.
dude. I do not think that was a bit at all.
You don't
You
think
don't
so?
You don't think McDonald's does their research?
I don't
before
think
throwing
I
money
don't
at 'em?
think that advertising guy did his research at all, and they even sent them. I think Nadav and the boys and the crew, I think, sent some clips and was like, "You do realize this is the kind of shit that we do on the show," and they were like, "Ah, we don't care, do it." And then because it only lasted one episode, and then
Oh, with Uncle Terry, yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
as soon as they aired him, then that sponsorship was gone.
They knew.
I don't think so, dude. I think that show is
You know what?
more what it is
Listen,
than you think it is.
you're talking about it now. That's free advertising for McDonald's right now.
True.
They knew exactly what they were doing.
To give them $1 million and then take it back.
Yep.
Oh, you're so.
Oh,
Here's the thing.
theory.
Mark says it's another even layer of it's a publicity stunt
Yeah.
From McDonald's.
from
not
McDonald's. Well, maybe even everyone. Maybe everyone was in on this.
right? Maybe they
publicity
got
stunt.
maybe they got to keep the $1 million. Fucking
Or
Tom
some
just
of
sold
it.
his house for like $7 million in LA. Did you see
Yeah.
that news article?
I did. That's wild.
Look at Francois there's like, what the fuck? Andrew, you were telling me this at the Capitol the other night. So you know that video clip I did where I took the Project X video? and
Yeah,
then I made the
yeah.
news list?
Yep.
So the
Oh,
week
yeah.
that movie was released, our boy Andrew over here threw a party. And
So-
yeah.
So what? It's like to take this back even further, the super ironic thing. So I don't know if you know what that movie was based off of originally. Have you seen the Australian Party Boy? That
I
news
think
clip?
like back then, I think.
Yes.
I did, yes.
Yeah, with the like, my glasses, the famous. You take your glasses off and apologize to all these people. No,
Right.
I'm not going to do that. The famous. So that whole clip. I, at the time, I thought it was like one of the greatest things ever. So funny. Fast forward to now, like several years later, I'm my second year of university. We're essentially living in this old pre-war, like just absolute fucking dump in Waterloo, Ontario, that some like scumbag slumlord has turned into an 8-bedroom like apartment basically for students. So we're living there. We're paying like, I think I paid $450 a month for rent and utilities. That's how terrible this place. I lived in a little basement. My room was called the Cave. Anyways, we're in this house, and I'm an English major, so like I'm pretty sure that an ounce of marijuana was like written into my like syllabus for what I needed to have ready for school. But anyways, it was just like everyone there was a major partier, business students and myself, and we lived around the corner from all like the major bars in Waterloo. So it started out where we'd go out to the bar on a whatever night, any night of the week, and there'd be a lineup. I'm like, well, we don't want to wait in line. Okay, well, we just yell at the line. Okay, party at our place around the block. There's a liquor store literally on the way from the bars to our house. Grab booze, come over. And so it got to the point where we were having people over, like 50 to, as many as 80 people over to our house, like almost every night of a week. And we're like, okay, well, if we're going to do this, we should and we have to clean up, keep our house clean and shit. Like we should make some money off this. So we started just buying kegs and having these little random keggers and doing the same thing, but charging people to come party at our house as as either as an after party or instead of going to the crowded bar. And that's kind of how we made our money for a while. And anyways, eventually it got to the point where St. Patrick's Day was approaching, and it was like, okay, we've had all these after parties at our house. Let's throw a big party for St. Patrick's Day because we're not really on the radar yet with the police or the campus. So because it's a day where people in Ontario out here, I haven't seen St. Patrick's Day be that much of a thing. In Ontario, if it's on a Wednesday, specifically in Waterloo anyways, they will cancel all their classes and go and drink all day. And that's what you're doing. It doesn't matter. It's the biggest party day of the year, basically. So we decide we're going to have this party. We sell 150 advanced wristbands. And so we know there's going to be at least 150 people showing up at this thing. So I'm like, okay, party starts at 9 a.m. We'll do a pancake kegger. That was the whole thing. Pancakes for your $15. You get a pancake breakfast and as much beer as you can get out of the kegs, kind of thing. And anyways, party starts at 9:30 rolls around. We have probably close to 200 people at our house. But the cops show up before that happens. They do a drive-by. They see we're setting up for a party, but it's doesn't look too crazy. There's maybe 50 people there. By 10 o'clock is when we had 200 people. And things are still all contained on our property. We have a clear boundary of don't take your drinks past here. You're going to get a ticket.
This is 10 o'clock in the morning, dude.
Yeah.
On a fucking day.
Yeah. So we have our house set up. Basically, because this old pre-war house, the one basement suite, in order to be legal, had to have a fire exit. So there was an entrance / exit to the one basement room through the front foyer, and then that room led out into the basement and then out into the backyard. So we have 13 kegs of beer and all these Texas Mickeys. We're illegally selling alcohol, so this is for sure not good. If the cops see us, we're caught. So our way around this was we sent everyone in the house through the foyer down through the basement, and then all the booze was in the basement, and you went out to the backyard to party. So there's no the cops never saw kegs. They never saw anyone exchange a cup or anything for money. So when it's noon and there are 450 people on our property spilling out into the street, the cops have nothing to nail us on other than there's lots of people here and there's potentially a noise complaint. I guess another thing about Waterloo that I assume everyone knows, but you probably don't. The area around Laurier is basically, they just call it a student ghetto. Literally the 10 blocks surrounding our university was all students. So a noise complaint wasn't a thing that happened because it's literally all people who are 18 to 25 who live in that area.
Yeah.
So anyways, it's noon. There's 500 people. I've just finished making pancakes for I don't know, the first 200 people that showed up. Had 4 burners on my stove, flipping through them. Anyways, I make pancakes. I go to get a beer. All the liquor we bought was gone by I think it was noon or 12:30. So I have to go out because I'm still sober. I go out and buy as much. They were out of kegs. I think I got a couple of kegs, and then loaded my little Dodge Charger with cases of beer and Texas Mickeys. Came back, pulled out in front of the house. I'm literally throwing bottles of beer into a crowd of people who are waiting for beer. And then by that time, so get there, unload all the beer. Another hour or so later, It's like 1-2 o'clock ish. All that beer is gone, and at this point, there's thousands of people on the street, and we've had to like put kegs at other people's houses, and like other people have started throwing little like parties at their own spot in the street. So the cops get there, and it's like, we can't shut this down. So they just parked their cars at the ends of the street and wrote like open liquor tickets where they could, then let people party on the street. And yeah, I think that first year at its peak, there was like, I believe they said it was like 3,000 ish people.
Fucking crazy, right?
And-
Andrew showed me a picture of it, and he's like, "You see that peak right? Like that's my house right there. It's like a street just filled
Green.
with thousands of people, man." He's like, "There's my house right
Yeah.
there."
He should maybe send you guys the picture to like
Oh
put
hell
in the
yeah!
video because it's fucking
Yeah.
it's wild.
And
And
like,
you
just
say
to be,
that was the first year? That means
That was-
they're
oh
enough.
yeah. And again, like I can't take even all like half the credit for this. This is like myself and my roommates, and they were the popular ones who were able to get all those people there. I just kind of helped run things and like plan and promote, but they were the ones who were able to like, especially the first year, make it happen.
Right.
So yeah, that was the first year. And the other thing that's, I guess, important to note, because we also got on the like the front page of the local paper and stuff because it was so crazy. And the thing that's like important to note, I guess, is that same year, that same St. Patrick's Day, 45 minutes or an hour away at another big school in Ontario, in London, Ontario, they had a similar thing, but it was like a riot in the street, and cars got flipped and shit got destroyed and burned. And at the thing that we had, there was like one fight and one injury, and like 3,000 people on the street drinking. So like the police were like very impressed with how everyone conducted themselves, and people had fun. There were some tickets written, but no one got hurt. Nothing really bad happened.
Right.
The second year, I was in the film industry at the time. I was working in the film industry, but still living at that same house. So again, like I kind of helped them promote and like do this thing, but it was mostly them. I was just kind of the fly on the wall that year. And that was the year where it was like, there were like, I think 5,500 people at the peak on the street, and like just crazy. Everyone who was there knew what was happening, like from the get-go. Party at Ezra Street, they just rushed. And I took video of it. I have video footage somewhere of me walking through the streets, and it was just like one of the craziest party experiences I've ever had in my life. Just seeing this like residential street just fully packed with people. Sorry,
No
friend.
doubt. I've never been to anything that big before. But that was, you said, correct me if I'm wrong, that was like a few days prior to St. Patty's the first year, that movie Project X came out or something.
Yeah.
And you
Oh
were-
man. That's I did. That is part of the story. So we were in the midst of setting up for the St. Patrick's Day party. So like, stupid stuff like decorating and putting green, whatever. But we also were pretty smart and knew how to plan for these parties. So we like put cardboard down over all the floor and taped it down so the flooring wasn't going to get wrecked or dirty. So we just ripped the cardboard out, and like preparations like that we made. So we're doing all that. We're trying to think of every possible thing we can think of. And we're like, oh, this movie just came out. Let's go see it. I think it was like the night before, or maybe 2 nights before the party. And we watched this movie, think it's going to get us like amped up and psyched for this big party. And if you've seen Project X, you know how it ends, and you know that it's not good. So we're at the end of this movie. We're like, what the fuck did we get into? Like, what is going to happen? There's no way to predict what. Like at the time, we were thinking like 150 people because that's how many wristbands we'd sold. Yeah, it's like there's no way like we can control 150 people. And then of course it ended up being way bigger than that, and it was fine. But yeah, it was stressful for sure.
It could have gotten out of hand real quick.
It absolutely could have. There was a moment there where like because I was expecting to party, and all my roommates basically got drunk before, so I was left to be like the sober one, like kind of keeping things in control. And yeah, there was a moment where I was like working the door and had like a fucking wad of cash in my pocket. I'm looking around at all these people, and I'm like, this could just go so badly. Like this, please, if there is a God, please let this go smoothly. Oh, I totally forgot about this. Is another crazy part of the story. So I'm the sober one. I'm kind of running around the house like people have a problem of trying to like whatever, just being the host of the party basically. And how our house was structured, there was a fire escape in the back, like a wooden, like old fire escape to the attic. So you could climb up the fire escape and then get access to our roof. And someone was on like the lower part of our roof that was like off the side where we had a little porch. And as I came walking out from under the porch, someone jumped on my back off the roof and dislocated my fucking shoulder, partially dislocated my shoulder. So my buddy who's an EMT is there and he's like, oh, look that way. Pops my shoulder back in. And so I went and got a towel. I have a towel sling and I'm running this party because there's hundreds of people there and like none of my roommates are sober. So like I'm the guy. And at that point I'm like, fuck it. I'm in pain. Like I need to just get drunk. So then I got drunk and the party tapered off. And it was I think around 4 p.m. when like the street naturally cleared. Because as is tradition around there, you go from your party, you have a hard nap, and you wake up at like 9 p.m. to go to the club later that night. Of course, as is any rational person would do.
As you do, yeah.
But I remember near the end, because people were leaving and we wanted them to leave, people needed to go to the bathroom. And we were charging people like $5 to come in to use our bathroom because we didn't want them to do it. We're like, go away. Like, you want to come in, you have to pay. And people were just paying us $5 to come in and use our bathroom. We thought that was going to be like the deterrent. Like, oh, I'll go around the corner to wherever. Nope.
You'll pay.
We'll pay.
I remember paying for bathrooms for sure.
I've never paid for a bathroom.
No?
I don't think so.
Oh yeah.
Well, but I've like had to buy stuff in a store to use.
No.
That's not the same thing.
No.
Where did you have to pay to use a bathroom?
That actually was a pretty common thing back home.
Yeah, in Europe, I've heard of that as a thing for sure.
Public bathrooms, yeah, you pay to get in. Yep.
Wow, what if you got no money?
Too bad.
You shit on the floor?
You get tickets.
Don't go to the public park.
Yeah.
No.
Go around the corner?
Well, that was in Ireland. I remember that was the thing. It was like we went to some public park and yeah, they had this big thing and it was like really well taken care of. But yeah, it wasn't expensive. It was like $1 or something. But yeah, you had to throw a buck in there to be able to use it. And then door slit open, you go in, door slides closed, and then whatever. It was really nice. Like, I don't know. But yeah, definitely different from here. We don't like, I can't think of a province or ever seeing it in Canada anywhere.
Crazy.
There's enough bush to pee. Huh? I'm almost done.
Do you want another one?
Sure.
What are you guys drinking there?
Just water, but I think I might go grab an 016 in a second.
Yeah, I might
do it. Do it. They're
that.
sponsoring. Are they sponsored Moose Fest? Do it.
Oh fuck yeah! I'm gonna go grab some 016s then.
I'd love one if you're offering.
I will absolutely. I got
Thank
several.
you.
Ignore my sweatpants.
I like white. Party on, Wayne.
Yeah.
Party on, Garth.
Party on, Garth. Indeed. People in Saskatchewan, for some fucking reason, don't like to buy advance tickets to shit, and I have to think it's something to do with like the weather and people being afraid that like it's going to be like a blizzard or something and they can't make it, or I don't know, like what the general, like, it seems like it's like a DNA level,
thing, right?
Yeah.
It is.
I think to a degree, scarcity is the problem. It's like, if I think about like you live in a big city, right? You live in Toronto or Vancouver or something like that. A show will sell out every time. Like that, it will happen. So if you don't get those tickets before the other guy gets the tickets, you will not be going to that show. Right. And it's like in Saskatchewan.
As soon as you have that experience 1 or 2 times, you know, okay, fuck it. If we want to go to this, we have to buy the tickets in advance.
And unluckily, but luckily at the same time, I mean, like, I think this is as much a pro as it is a con to Saskatchewan. It's like, we just don't have the population to guarantee a sold out show unless you're like fucking Metallica or something. Right. Like, or what was the Garth Brooks? Yeah. But like, I like that. Unless you're unless you're one. See, I like that one. That was funny. But anyways, unless you're one of these big acts and it's guaranteed to sell out, like the scarcity just isn't there. Like, people are going to assume I'm going to be able to get tickets at the door. Like, they're never, in the back of their head, it's not I have to get tickets now or I won't be able to get tickets at the door. People always think they're going to be able to get tickets at the door in this province because we just don't have the population to guarantee a sold out show every time. And so, like, that's the thing. I think, like, anybody who doesn't see a surge in advanced ticket sales, like, it shouldn't disparage you at all. Like, it's not reflective of this market. Like, it has no basis in people not wanting to come to your show. It just doesn't, because, like, here people show up and buy tickets to the door. That 80% of the people that go to shows, that's what they do.
Yep.
People just don't do it here. Whereas in Vancouver, it's a different situation because people know they have to get tickets a month in advance or else they're not going to the show.
And that's kind of what we're banking on.
We've planned for that. Like, we're expecting that to happen.
Yeah,
for
right.
sure.
And,
Even
and
though
also,
we're advertising it. Sorry.
And also, we purposely kept it small this time with only 3 bands and just an evening.
Well,
just
4.
3. Initially 3.
It's actually 5. But go on.
Initially 3. That's how we started.
That's
with
right.
3.
You're right. You're absolutely.
And then right after we started kind of announcing it a little bit, bands came out of the woodworks. Can we play 2?
Yeah, that's after
no.
we. That's right. After we got the lineup, we had, I think, 3 other bands that were like wanted to be a part of it, and we were like, no, like, our budget is spent on the bands already. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
No,
like, we didn't have the money to hire these other bands.
I think it, like, just you, that little diatribe, I think is indicative of like an excellent attitude. Like, I think, like, that to me is indicative of somebody who is thinking of, I am not going to rely on the fact that this is going to be a success and that we might be able to pay these bands after the fact. Fuck that. I'm going to go with what I know can happen. I know I can pay for these 3 bands or whatever, 4 or 5 or whatever, how many bands there are. But it's like, I know I can get these bands. I know I can pay for these bands and I can mitigate that cost to an extent. And I'm not going to just rely on the fact that this is going to be a success. And for this type of thing, for events, that's the best attitude. Like that, I just think, like I said, maybe this year isn't financially successful, but I think just the attitude you guys have approaching the event means that you can put this on for multiple years and you guys aren't going to get royally fucked because you're not going to sign something that you're not going to try to back something up, or you're not going to front something that you can't back up. Like,
right, yep.
So yeah, no,
and that's also kind of a learning experience from a festival that happened in PA. When was it? 2015 or something?
I don't know.
It was well, exactly. That's kind of the whole point. It was what did they call it? The Borealis Festival.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it was supposed to be this big thing. July Talk was the headliner. They had a whole bunch of bands lined up and serious names, and nobody showed because they didn't do their due diligence. They weren't prepared for anything. They just threw money at the bands. You're supposed to come, and they went, I think, with $30,000 in the hole or whatever. And they were like, yeah. And it was backed by the city. And the city was like, yeah, we're not doing that again. So that was a 1-year festival. Never did it again.
Firefest, Saskatchewan.
Never heard of it. I didn't know that.
I did. Like, I remember, I've heard of Boreal. Like, yeah, that rings a bell to me.
I do remember that year because I remember July Talk headlining. I remember that.
Yeah.
That's a fucking good band.
It is.
I don't know who that is.
Joel won't know. No,
Yeah.
exactly.
I have no clue who that is.
You should check them out. They're
Yeah,
awesome.
check them out. They're fucking sick.
Dude, man, you want to know what's funny is a lot of the guests that we have on musically, I have no fucking clue who they are. I really don't.
Yeah, I'm gonna take everything I just said about you guys doing your due diligence back. I'm taking all
I'll
that.
take it all back. Dude, the day I have
But
them,
you don't know what our names are, what our company is, or what we do. None of that. None.
I
nothing.
just know you do something with videos or
Yeah.
whatever.
You got a
Totally wrong. Completely wrong.
Andrew's a mommy. I know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the day of, I just listen to the music. That's it. But I think I got I'm going to change that up a little bit. I had a good talk with Aspen about that. So
But
my
what?
wheels are
Well,
spinning.
But what?
I can see how it would be advantageous in a podcast, like going in completely fresh is a great way to like learn and then ask questions, and like the simplest things are going to be genuinely interesting to you. So like I can see how that would be could be pro, but I can also see how with certain types of people that might come off as not the best. Like I feel like it's like for all the positives that are there might be like a negative.
And that's kind of exactly how it is. Like, we're not interviewers. I can't stress that enough, right? We're legitimately just wanting to hang out with like you guys and these musicians and just kind of get a feel of who they are, maybe a little bit differently from just listening to their music, right?
Right.
And I don't want to be that guy just fucking reading the Wikipedia page and then act like I know who the hell they are. Like I want to be like, I'm in a room, they walk in the room, and I have to get to know them.
Yeah.
That's how it is, right? I know nothing about you except for that you play music and I've listened to some of your music. That's as far as it goes.
Yeah, the way I see it is we meet at a bar and we
start talking.
And then
that I think like that pitch there is excellent. Like I think if you were to like in a podcast, like at the beginning, if you were to explain that pitch, what you just said to me, it's like the way that our philosophy behind this podcast is like, we just met you in a bar, so we don't know anything about you. Then that like immediately the person isn't going to have any sort of preconceived notions of like these guys didn't do their research or they didn't do their due diligence, because then they understand the whole philosophy behind the podcast. So like, right. I think if you just gave that one sentence of context to someone,
that intro video that we sent out to the
exactly that intro video. Actually, I got to compliment you guys on that. I because like what an excellent idea, because like it's something I'd never thought of doing, and I don't know if it's just like a standard thing that I just wasn't privy to, but like sending someone a quick
this is what to expect intro video,
it's such an excellent idea. Like I was watching that, I'm like, man, how have I never thought about this for anything? Like, what a good way to just get out the stupid questions out of the way. Like, can we swear? All those like things that people always ask in every fucking podcast you watch. Get those things out of the way, and then you can actually I don't know. That actually, compliments to you guys.
That actually came about. We had it in a written document that I wanted to send out to people, and the first few were like, "Yeah, I did read that. It was too many words." Okay, well, then Joel and I were like, "Well, we could read it on camera, and then we just send it out one time."
Yeah,
people watch video.
I think is that the second or third one that we did?
Yeah.
I don't even know if I have the first one, but the song that's playing in the background, Hen Dog gave us that song to use.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's Hen Dog's. It's called Arabian Pilot, I think is the name of that song.
Dope.
Yeah, that guy's awesome.
But that excellent idea. Props on that. That's a great idea.
We're for sure going to be stealing that.
Yeah, we're stealing that big time.
It's
as we plan your demise and your eventual disappearance.
The funky prehistoric podcast.
Yeah, it's like corporate takeover. You guys kind of asked about the 7 Mile Sun Show. That they fucking blew the roof off that place. It was incredible.
Fuck, man. I shit you not. My eyes lit for a minute. Got a little teary-eyed.
Oh, but you're a wuss. You cry at the Titanic.
Happy. They did so good, above and beyond what I was expecting from them. I don't know why I was expecting anything. I was impressed 100%.
Not that their original music wasn't stellar, because it was also amazing. That new song that we're going to do hopefully doing that video for, so good. But their cover of
What's Up?
What's Going On?
What? Yes.
Oh my God! Like her
standing ovation, dude.
Their drummer Kimberly, like, gave a flawless vocal performance of it, while also playing the drums, I assume, pretty flawlessly. So it was just, one of the greatest things I've seen musically in a long time, for sure.
Joel sent me a few videos, or I don't know if it was on your Instagram stories or whatever.
I don't remember. I might have tagged you in them.
For whatever reason, when somebody takes a video of a live performance with their phone, it always seems off to me.
Even the one I did?
Yep.
Well, it's because they're fucking filming it vertically.
Vertically.
Well, that too.
Microphone's terrible.
Yeah. I took a Snapchat that night, and it was just like it was a bit of a performance, but all the caption said was, "Turn your phone sideways, jackass," because it's like like if you're in the film industry, it's just like there's something about seeing something filmed vertically, and it's like I'm just part of the old fucking guard. Like I will die on this hill, but it's like I will never accept content filmed vertically.
Okay,
ever.
but
that is one of the reasons.
Let me try and explain why.
Hang on, that is one of the reasons I hate Instagram, because
I'm with you.
All focused on square and vertical.
Yeah,
I'm okay with square. I can live with that, but vertical, fuck that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
agree.
never be able to get on board with it. And it's probably going to be something that ends up making me the like
Irrelevant
dinosaur guy, but it's like, it's just like it's
Yeah, that's
so
stupid.
Well,
It's
yeah,
our
but
generation's version of
fits
film
the,
versus
the
No.
phone.
yeah,
No,
true.
it's bullshit because you have room at the bottom and room at the top. Why don't you turn it sideways so you
Yeah,
have
but
the
no,
whole band in the
There's
shot?
what do you mean room on the bottom and top?
You have Kevin and you have
Screen room.
Kimberly. Where's Joanne? Turn it sideways and you have the whole band.
You remember back in the day,
And then just comment, turn your phone sideways, jackass, and then it's great.
just to have that be a hashtag on
Yeah,
all of
on
those,
everything. It says that should just be a movement. Turn your phone sideways, jackass.
I think we just started it right
yeah,
here.
there we go.
Instagram.
Do you remember back in the day when this reminds me of the debate of like when you would buy a DVD, did you buy widescreen or full screen?
Fucking full screen.
No.
Me too at the
I
beginning,
did.
for sure.
I
When
did.
I was a kid.
That was
Like-
an option?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Really?
Some
Wait,
of them, they were like double-sided discs. So if you
Yeah.
played it on one side, it was full screen. You'd flip it over. It was
you serious?
100%.
Yeah.
Like I'll use the excuse if I was a
Oh,
fucking
you're-
kid, so I didn't know any better. But it's like
I always
when you're a
thought it
kid,
looked off.
you it's more of the screen. So you're like, oh well, I don't want the black bars. You don't understand the purpose of what the black bars are doing. So you're just like, what the fuck is this? And then I can't remember. I don't know why or how I ever learned this because like I didn't know anything about film until basically I graduated. But like finally when I learned about it, it was just like, oh god, there are filmmakers who for like probably like a 10-year span, their films were being butchered because like almost a third or like a third of the frame was being cut off the whole fucking movie. And it's like, can you imagine being that cinematographer who you spent all this fucking time lighting this scene and then somebody comes up and is like, yeah, I'm cutting off most of it. It's
Yeah.
like,
So
or
that
like
it can be a full screen.
yeah, it's like imagine whatever, like to use a universal example. Like imagine if you see like a Da Vinci painting and it's like the Mona Lisa and somebody just cuts it in half and they're like, yeah, same thing, same product.
Yeah.
It's like, this is not the fucking same thing. What are you talking about?
Right?
Well, Mona Lisa is vertical though.
Exactly. Bullshit. Terrible painting. Should have been 16 by 9. Fucking idiot. Hack. Millennial Da Vinci. Or Gen Z or whatever.
How old are you? Because if you were a kid when DVDs came out,
I'm much younger than anyone you've interacted with. I'd like to say that. I'm very young. Extremely young. Just youth. I emanate youth and freshness.
we had a guest on 3 weeks ago. He's 19. I don't think you're 19.
Wait, who was that?
Yeah, but it's like kind of like
Oh, fuck
I'm
that.
not younger than he is, but I'm kind of just like we're just gonna kind of like I'm kind of young, you know. I'm kind of
Andrew.
hip.
I was
Andrew,
born
how old
in
is he?
92.
No, how old is he? Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm 27 in September. I was born in 94.
94, yeah.
That's crazy.
Fuck, you're old.
I'm fucking young. You shut your mouth.
He's old. He's old. Joel's
Hey,
old.
to Joel, the Joel.
Oh, I see. Fuck. They just told me old. I'm like, no, youth. The way that everyone
I'm
describes
old.
me, young.
I'm old, but I've got a baby face. I look younger than what I am,
Yeah.
and I always will. I always will.
That's
Not
nice.
like you.
I've looked 30 since I was 18. So
Yeah.
do what you will with that.
I think I've always kind of matched my age in terms of my looks. I don't think I've ever looked older or younger than I am. I don't think. But I'm very young. I want to be very clear to the audience listening. I'm extremely young, very young, youthful, fresh, very on the pulse of
so
society.
young. He's so young. He doesn't have hair on his face yet.
Look at that. Nothing.
There's
Clean.
no hair. Nothing.
Nothing. I can't even do it. Couldn't even do it if I tried.
That's how young he is. Can you grow hair on your face?
My wife.
Yeah. What did I? 7 Mile Sun. I wanted to mention this before we move on or whatever we're doing. So one thing that I maintained, semi-jokingly, semi-not, is that Jimmy Eat World is the greatest band to ever exist. And the fact that they fucking at the end threw in the middle by Jimmy Eat World, like that's something I jokingly, not even I'm not joking, but like it's kind of a joke. I'll yell at bands like cover the middle by Jimmy Eat World because it's like I think probably their best song. And the fact that they just did that, and I didn't even need to harass anybody, I didn't need to threaten anybody, I didn't need to like find no back alley stuff.
Did you know that they could play it?
No, I had no fucking idea.
We've never seen them live.
My
Yeah, I
my
guess
jaw
so, right?
rarely drops ever. Shit does not surprise me. I'm jaded. I fucking hate everything. That night, my jaw just fucking dropped. I'm like, I can't believe this is just a thing that's happening, and I didn't have to like make it happen. Like, this is the best thing ever. I was so excited. Fuck yeah, 7 Mile Sun, never stop covering the middle by Jimmy World.
They
Please.
are so awesome. They
They
stayed at
are.
my house
You
last
know what?
weekend.
You know what's the coolest thing about that song is that my signal light in my car is exactly to the beat of that song.
Oh.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
How does that go?
How does a signal light go?
Well, do it.
No.
This is reminding me of the Trans-Canada Highway.
Like, you guys think this is banter between you two, but this is seeds we've been planting this entire podcast. Seeds of dissent and disagreements. Like, this is how we do it. This is how we end things.
I love
I
it.
see how you get rid of your competition.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lots of subconscious, very cerebral.
definitely nothing to
Like
do
the
with
logical.
dismembering and cubing.
And definitely nothing about cutting people up into little bits.
Not
What's
yet.
up with that guy?
Not yet.
Holy.
Yeah.
Let's hear about Brad.
Should we talk about Brad? Because I'm scared.
You could write books.
Psychiatrists have tried.
Yeah.
I think it's been more than 45 minutes. Maybe we check the news and see
Yeah.
if there was like a fucking explosion or something. No, just kidding.
No, he 100% did not think we'd be going we could keep going. Like, he thought, he's like, yeah, I'll say goodbye. They'll have nothing to talk about because I'm the one that's really interesting.
Text
And
right
then-
now.
Yeah. Text him, Brad, where are you?
Yeah, no,
We're
those
waiting.
guys fucking rocked, man. I had so much. I was 3:30 when I got home that night.
Jesus Christ. Were you hanging out with anybody afterwards?
Yeah, I think we stuck around so they got off stage at 1:15. I want to say we stuck around for about an hour, maybe an hour. And then I drove Aspen home it was on the way. So I dropped him off and got home I wasn't like falling asleep at the wheel, but my ears were ringing. I had a headache till like fucking 6 o'clock the next day, like Saturday night. But I got my Vax Friday morning. So I wonder if that's why.
No, you're not used to live music anymore.
Could be.
Yeah,
Dude, I had a headache all day.
I know that sounds similar to how I felt after I got my vaccine a couple weeks ago. I went up to a music festival right after I got mine, and it was like the first day was not fun. But yeah,
Right? Yeah. I'm gonna blame it on the Vax, not the loud music in over a year with my head right by the fucking speaker. For
nah.
like
Or you
2
getting
hours.
old.
Like, no, it's not that.
It's not you getting old.
No, it's not me getting
No.
old neither. I'm young like Francois.
There you go.
Youthful.
Very, very young. I'd like to just reiterate again to the people watching. I'm very young, extremely young, youthful, fresh. More synonyms for youth. That's what I am.
I think by this time we lost the last person that was watching.
Yeah.
No, there's definitely stuff in here I'm gonna be cutting out though for
Mm.
time. But
That's probably a good idea.
I was gonna ask
Say
you
it.
guys
Oh.
if this is like your only you're the only source of income. Or do you
Yeah.
guys
Yep.
have like other jobs on top of
No.
this?
Nope.
Prehistoric Productions has been our full-time gig for a while now. Yeah.
Yep.
Right. And then what the
So-
hell is Brad doing?
He's just prolific.
So he is an insane person. So Brad is a partner in Prehistoric Productions. He also owns an oil field spraying company that operates near their original hometown of Cambridge, Saskatchewan. I believe the solar thing is done now, but he also co-owns a solar installation company, as well as helps run the family farm. He
Owns Prairie Sun Brewery.
part owner of Prairie Sun Brewery, and he
What's that
also
Prairie Sun Brewery? Like
Have you been to it?
Excuse me, what now?
In the city, it's
Did you
fucking
just
awesome.
say? Did you say what is Prairie Sun
Well, I
Brewery?
don't drink, so I don't know. Like
Well,
apple
it's-
juice? Like
Ne-
Prairie
like
Sun, like the
ju-
juice boxes?
No.
Joel, next time you're in the city, we're gonna go have lunch there, and it's gonna blow your mind.
The food is
All
really
right.
The
good.
food is amazing.
And it's just an
And
excellent
it's just a sweet location too.
facility, yeah.
So why
Um,
the fuck aren't we asking them to sponsor some booze to Moose Fest?
Do it, harass Brad.
Yeah, harass Brad.
After Moose Fest.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well I can cut that out, but we already got original
Hey,
60, so it's all
Moose
good.
Fest. No, yeah, Moose Fest too.
But yeah.
So would you guys, if let's say we make a connection with a PA band and they mention like, oh, we want to do a music video, would you go to
Yes.
PA to shoot?
Yes,
that?
plug the shit out of us.
We've traveled all the way from Pincher Creek to, we're going to Minton, Saskatchewan on Saturday to shoot a video.
I don't even know where that is.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
15 minutes from the U.S. border, south of Weyburn.
Yeah, like if you guys ever get the opportunity and you're willing, that's something that would be super. We'd be super thankful for that. Just like
And-
if band's looking for a video, just say we know some guys. Here's their website. Check out what they do. If they float your boat,
Yeah.
send them an email. If they don't, no fucking.
And
stop
we
writing
have
us.
the ability to work in a wide variety and range of budgets. So it's not like we don't leave our studio for anything less than 20 grand. Like that's not at all what we're about.
Yeah.
That you laugh, but that's a lot of production companies are like, oh,
yeah.
it's $1,000 project. Fuck that.
Mhm.
So
Dude,
and
that's
that's
like-
not where we're at.
I get it. That's like asking bigger bands to come on the show, and they're like, "Who the fuck are you?" Like, no, I'm not. Like, who's your audience? Like, no, I'm not doing that. And then we get like Theory of a Dead Man. Shout out to Theory of a Dead Man.
Yeah.
You
And
guys
Tell them to
And-
get a fucking music video. Tell them. You guys fucking hook up a music video with Theory of a Dead Man, and I will get bronze statues of you made, and you will be my new gods.
There you go, Tyler and
Oh.
Dave. If you guys need some backstage footage when you guys
Careful
come
now.
through Saskatoon, there, you guys hit up
Hit us
Prehistoric
up.
Productions.
There
But
you go.
actually, I already have someone in mind for you that might be interested.
Fuck yeah,
Oh,
send them
dope.
our way.
We'd love to even just have a conversation, get that first initial contact.
Like I said, if our stuff doesn't float someone's boat, doesn't offend me at all. That's completely fine. But like,
Yeah.
I always it's nice when people will at least have a look to just see.
Yeah.
Fuck
Cool.
yeah.
All right.
Right on, you guys.
We're gonna let you go.
Anytime you guys want to come on, just shoot the shit. You know how to find us, man. Just reach out.
Fuck yeah.
Sounds fucking awesome.
Next time we'll actually do it in person. We'll have all four of us in person here.
Yeah, right. We can fucking do that now.
Yeah.
All
So
Francois,
four.
are
Did
you
you hear
coming
that?
to Moose Fest? I
Yeah,
know-
all four.
All four.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck Brad.
exactly. He's not part of this.
So
He can run the camera and the switchers.
There you go. Sweet.
Awesome.
Very good, boys.
all right, guys.
All right.
Awesome talking to you. Have an
Keep 'em-
excellent night.
Keep them high and tight.
Yeah, you bet,
Adios.
buddy. Bye, Jeans.